a big day.
In Bristol, Myron Crosby, who runs the local rabbit sanctuary, is bringing in a buck rabbit for castration. It's another first for Truda.
I thought you maybe want to look at the bits that are going to be coming off, so...
Yeah, they are there.
They are there, oh yes.
Yes, they're definitely there.
Yes.
Yeah, I think these needs to come off. I'm sorry,
Yes,
Bunny.
I do.
You call it, what is it called, useless?
Useless, yes. Absolutely useless for everything, aren't you?
Well, it's going to be more useless now. Definitely. Yeah, that's fine.
Do you want him on his back?
Yes, let's get him positioned ready.
Truda is about to start operating on Useless. Expert vet Hilary Tallpot will supervise.
The bubble wrap is just to help conserve his heat because little animals very soon chill, and hypothermia is one of the major risks when we anaesthetise them.
Truda's nervous. She needs to impress Hilary if she's to be allowed to do operations unsupervised.
The skin of the scrotum is very, very thin, so go very carefully when you start incising.
Keep breath there. I'll put him in too.
It takes a long time, doesn't it? Well, I mean, obviously...
It's fiddly.
It's fiddly, isn't it?
Truda's under enormous pressure. It's not uncommon for rabbits to die under anaesthetic.
I should put the clamp on the other one straight away, shouldn't I?
Truda's first rabbit castration is over, and she's relieved.
I always feel a bit stressed about being as quick as possible because we want them to be under anaesthetics as short time as possible. But if you hurry and if you get stressed, that's when you start to do mistakes. You have to try to find a balance. No one's shouted at me yet. Hurry up! Not yet.
That's a good chat.
Soon Useless is back to his favourite old trick, running about with a plant pot on his head.
For more than 120 abandoned animals. CottonTails on Cotton Hill say they've been inundated with rabbits, guinea pigs and chinchillas. Most of the pets are no longer wanted by their owners. Rescue Centre staff say it's important new owners are aware of the time and money needed to keep rabbits and small pets.
So many bunnies have arrived at the CottonTails sanctuary in Bristol that they may have to be put down. Jill Impey met the owners who are hoping to avoid such drastic action.
The residents are getting twitchy at the CottonTails rabbit sanctuary. They've been keeping an ear out and all is not well. To put it bluntly, well, they could be heading for that great hutch in the sky if bigger premises aren't found soon.
There's several problems, but the main one is the councillor reaching a decision this month about our future, whether we're going to be allowed to continue here on the short term or whether that is it and then 120 rabbits will be put to sleep.
Just like that?
I'm hoping not. I'm really hoping they're going to be sympathetic and they will let us continue for a while until we at least get the lottery results through, because we've applied for money from the lottery and we'll know in May if we've been successful. So fingers crossed that we will get some help and we can move somewhere appropriate and really do this properly, get our national rabbit centre. That's what we want.
So is there anything the public can do to help?
Well, first of all, to come forward to rehome some of the rabbits here. We've got 120, as I've already said, about 40 babies, all ages. We've got one that's blind, one that's got other problems, but they'll all make great pets. So we need responsible ownership here.
Yes, they are cute, aren't they? But remember, a bunny is for life, and you'll have to go through a strict vetting if you want to take one home.
Well, let's hope there's a happy ending to this fluffy tale. Otherwise, it won't be much of a Christmas for Flopsy, Mopsy, Cottontail or Peter, will it? Jill Impey, HTV News in Bristol.
But why do people dump rabbits?
They're bought as nice little cute bunnies at Easter time, and of course when they grow up to about this size in the winter they don't want them.
Now I understand that you're under threat of closure, is that right?
Imminent, yes. My understanding is I think we've got a 6-month enforcement notice about to be placed on us, so it gives us 6 months to find somewhere else. And it's going to be impossible unless someone, you know, comes forward and helps us.
Obviously, in a residential area, what goes on in order to maintain a decent residential atmosphere is important. The problem is for them is to find an alternative place which does in fact conform with normal requirements for a residential area.
Maureen's vet is Truda Mostew of TV's Vet School, who supports the work she does.
It's a fantastic place. I mean, I can't really think about what we would do without a place like this. I know the RSPCA haven't got enough space to take on so many rabbits, and there's so many unwanted rabbits. So if we hadn't had a place like CottonTails, what would you do? I think we will have to put most of them to sleep, which would be awfully sad.
So Mara, do rabbits make good pets?
They do for children over 8 years of age, but not under 8 years of age, because their hands are small, and obviously they have problems picking up a rabbit and it'll scratch them and give quite a nasty injury. So children over 8 maybe, but only if they're taken on their own merit, and they're not cuddly toys at all, as is obvious.
This must cost an awful lot of money running this place. I mean, you've got to pay for bedding and food. How do you finance it?
Well, it costs about £10,500 a year to run, but we do pretty much break even. We charge when the rabbits go out, and we sell second-hand hutches, that sort of thing. So we just about break even, but that's about all we do. We don't make anything on top of that.
In 1 year, how many rabbits might you get?
900 a year is what we average.
That is a lot.
And that's the largest of any rescue in the whole of the country.
There is obviously a need for a rabbit sanctuary,
Desperate need. The RSPCA have officially said to me they cannot cope with 900 a year. If we close down, I don't know what's going to happen.
This Bristol Rabbit Sanctuary has the highest intake of furry fast breeders of any shelter of its kind in the country. That's because the woman who started it can't say no to a bunny in trouble and takes in nearly 1,000 unwanted rabbits every year.
Come on, Bunch. Oh, on the medication it says hooligan. Well, that was what the vet people call him, but his proper name is Brandy.
Yes, his eye's actually very sore. It's linked to the
Mywin Crosby admits that what catches a lot of people out is that all rabbits are programmed to create more and more of themselves, even when the cause is hopeless, as with this all-girl gathering.
Mywin, a room full of bunnies. I mean, this must be heaven to you, is it?
Well, yes and no. It means that all of these, of course, are looking for homes. These are unwanted pets.
Yes.
Children's pets. So, oh dear, we've got quite a lot of going on.
And they're trying to busily produce some more.
Yes, well, they're females, so they've got absolutely no chance of producing any more, but that's rabbits for you.
What is it about rabbits that appeals to you then, Mywin?
They're very independent animals. They don't make any pretences about what they like and what they don't like. They'll just get on and do it. And they don't care about anybody else, so I sort of admire them for that in a way. But they can make a wonderful pet if you take them on their own merit, but they're not good children's pets at all. Absolutely
So why
not.
do so many people buy them as children's pets?
Well, they buy them when they're sort of this sort of size, don't they? And they're cute and they're lovely. And oh, you know, Mummy, can I have a bunny? But of course they grow up into this sort of thing. They're very scratchy. Some of them can bite. And then the novelty wears off and out they go. Nobody wants them anymore.
Which must cause great sadness to you.
Well, yes, 900 a year come in with that sort of circumstances. So. And it's never ending, you know.
I mean, does it seem crazy to you that most of the world's farmers would rather see these at the end of a barrel than...
Yeah, well, during the war years, of course, there wasn't this problem because people who bred rabbits, any excess went in the pot. Nowadays, it's sort of frowned on for good or bad. And, of course, we get this excess rabbit problem. People are breeding them, you know, chucking them into pet shops, etc. And you get this scenario, which is not good news at all.
Well, what's the answer, do you think?
Try and get the pet shops to stop selling them and making them out that they're good children's pets, because they're not. And that's the whole thing. We've got to stop that, making the public realise you can't just wander into a pet shop and buy a rabbit and think, oh, this is a wonderful pet. It's not like that. So it's educating people. But, you know, people get what they deserve, I sometimes think, and they sometimes don't want to know the facts.
So who should have them as pets if it's not children?
They're really an adult's pet, or a pet that you watch when they're running around doing their own thing. I mean, when they're doing this sort of thing, they're very entertaining, especially if you give them toys, cardboard boxes, that sort of thing. They're great fun, but as a children's pet, not much use at all, really.
Not good news?
Not good news, no, not at all.